Hey guys, welcome to Brad's Beer Reviews. This is a little bit of a different video, but I know that you guys, or many of you, are aware of what's going around YouTube right now. Tasting Nitch started a little bit of a trend with her frequently asked beer questions video, and so it's making its rounds. And Jerry Fort, the beer review guy, asked me if I would record a video. So yes, I will, Jerry, and here it is. I just finished reviewing Legacy Lager by Dogtag Brewing, so I'm going to be sipping on this while I do this video. Hope you're okay with that. You should be. We're all beer reviewers, right? So the first question is, how did you get into beer and why? I got into beer because I started drinking it. Well, you know how it goes. I'm sure there's some of us out there that tried it, and the very first time they had it, they liked it. I know my dad, Arkansas Beer Reviews, was one of those cases. First time he had it, he liked it. I can say that I did not. I started drinking it at parties, and I was the kind of guy that would carry a bottle of beer around with me all night long, sipping on it because I wanted to fit in, but I really didn't like it. I drank hard liquor back then. Not that I was some kind of hardcore drinker, but I was much happier with a bottle of rum and a shot glass and some conversation with a buddy as to sit and chug beer down. It wasn't my thing in the early days. And there's more to that story, but it'll tie into one of the questions here in a minute, so we're going to go ahead and move on. What is my favorite beer? Man, I don't know if I could pick one favorite beer. I don't know that I could pick one favorite style. There are so many beers that I like. Coors Banquet. I guess if I had to pick, if somebody just put me against a wall with a gun to my head and said I had to pick a favorite beer, I would pick Coors Banquet. But I hate to pick one favorite because there's so many good ones out there. Coors Banquet is a favorite. I really enjoy Blue Moon on occasion. It's something with a little more flavor, but it's very drinkable. There's several stouts and porters. Vanilla Porter by Breckenridge Brewery is very good. And I could list them and keep going and going, but we're going to move on. If I could have one beer forever, question 3, what would it be? Again, I would hate to have to do that, but if I did, Coors Banquet is a very good beer, and that's what I would go with. How can I drink so much and stay healthy? Lucky, I guess. I mean, I'm an overweight guy, so I guess that depends on what you consider healthy. Obviously, or honestly, I should say, I don't exercise as much as I should. I try to eat healthy, but like most of us, fall off the wagon anytime I start. So, and that's a whole different can of worms. But long story short, I am in pretty good health, all things considered. But I don't really do anything to take some vitamins. Does that count? Am I an alcoholic? No. If I had to stop drinking for some reason, I could. I wouldn't like it. I love drinking. I love the community. And so it would make me very sad, but I could stop if I had to. It's not something that I have to have. It's just something that I very much enjoy. Number 6. What is my favorite beer ingredient? I'm going to have to follow suit with Tasting Nitch and say that yeast is probably my favorite ingredient because that can do so much to the flavor. I mean, going back to Coors Banquet, it's the yeast that gives it that banana taste that I love so much, and what makes it my favorite American lager. So yeast. Do I brew? I have. I don't do it often. I've done a batch of Kolsch that was very good, and I would like to attempt that again and do some modifications to it. I've also done a Pale Ale that I didn't think turned out too great. My dad thought it was okay. But that's the only 2 times that I've ever messed around with brewing. What was my first beer? This is the question that tied into the long-winded how did I get into beer story. But my first beer was Bud Light, as far as I can remember. That's what everybody drank at those parties. And I will say this, first beer that I ever legitimately loved was Budweiser, and that was thanks to my dad. I really need to do another video where I just give you my history of beer, because I could go on a long rant, or not a rant, but I could go on a long spiel about that, but we won't do that here. So first beer was Bud Light. First beer I ever loved was Budweiser. Who do I look up to in the beer world? I'll be honest. Tasting Nitch's video where she mentioned Michael Jackson and showed his book Tasting Beer, I'd honestly never heard of him. I'm interested in checking into him now, but I don't sit around and read books about beer. Not because I don't have an interest in doing it, I just haven't got around to buying those books. And so I can't say that I have somebody that brews beer that I just look up to. What I can say is that Ron Terrio, or Jay from Louisiana Beer Reviews, he is the first beer reviewer that I ever watched and who got me into wanting to do what we do. And so I guess you could say that I look up to him. And really, I look up to anybody that wants to get on here and talk about beer. It's just there's a camaraderie about it. And maybe that's not the response you was looking for that question, but that's my answer. But this was frequently asked beer questions. Tasting Nitch wanted us to tag some people. I don't know who all have been tagged. Arkansas Beer Reviews Dad, I'd like for you to do this video. I think that would be neat. Jay, if you watch this, I would like for you to do it. John Pierre, I would like for you to do that. And I look forward to seeing these videos. Thanks again to Tasting Nitch for starting this. And cheers, guys. Remember, stay thirsty.